Tonight, we're going through some of the most shocking confession stories ever shared on Reddit. These are real people, real secrets, and decisions they can never take back. Some of these confessions ruined relationships, some destroyed friendships, and one of them honestly left me speechless. Stay with me until the end, because the last story is the most disturbing one.
Story 1. Our friend is a borderline pedofly and we aren't sure what to do. Context. My friend Jake is turning 18 inches 2 months. We're currently doing a play together for ages 11 to 18, so there's a wide variety of ages together backstage. So I, 16 male, and my best friend Veronica, 15-year-old, have a common friend, Jake, who just started doing shows with us. The rest have done at least a few shows, so we all know each other. One of our friends backstage, Bella, just turned 1-4 that matters, and is very outgoing, which usually attracts guys her age. She started snapping Jake, which she didn't think was a problem because he lied and said he was 16. He obviously knew what he was doing was wrong, because he lied. And Jake took it upon himself to start making moves, like massaging her back, always sitting next to her, and non-stop following her around. Veronica is a very outspoken person who cares a lot about her friends. When she heard what was happened with Bella and Jake, pissed was an understatement. She got the word out that Jake was kinda creepy and to stay away. And that's when a lot of our younger castmates, 12, 13, 14, etc., started telling us about how touchy and flirty he was to them. Specifically, our friend Olivia, who is 12-year-old, who was Jake's go-to whenever Bella wasn't around, who would talk about Jake, would massage her and pick her up and put his arm around her. She sent Veronica her and Jake's text messages, where Jake sent her a TikTok saying, "The ball is in your court, shoot it," when Olivia sent the obvious, that she's 12 and not even a teenager. Jake said, "You know damn well if you could, you would." Olivia shut it down immediately and told us about it. Now that the show's ended, we're trying our best to do our part at making sure he never does a show there again and protect our younger castmates, because we never expected him to do that when we invited him to do the show. We've told our director, but now that the show's over, there's not much they can do. Story 2. Okay, so I'm not sure if I should be proud or ashamed of this. When I was younger, around 11 to 12, I went on a family trip away to a resort with my mom, her friend, and her friend's daughter. I was young and careless, having newly founded the wonders of masturbation. One night, the daughter of my mom's friend and I sat up late, alone in our resort room. We watched TV, and she was laying long ways in front of me with her head closest to the TV and her feet facing me. She was what I would now call a fit girl. And being as young as I was, I couldn't help but find myself attracted to her. Since she was facing the TV and couldn't see me, I felt obligated to practice my newly founded wonder. God knows why I did this. I can't recall the thought process. All I know is that it happened. As I finished, I froze, realizing that the whole ordeal had been reflected in the TV. She watched me the entire time. I can't begin to describe how shocked I was, not to mention how shocked she was. Nevertheless, this was on our last night at the resort. We left the next morning. She didn't speak to me and hasn't spoken since. Hope this was wildish enough. Story 3. The Older. I was early 20s. She was mid-50s. I don't know her exact age. I was at a swingers bar. She was there with her husband. Her husband was chatting me up about random, everyday things. Then eventually, he asked me what I thought about his wife. I said I thought she was very lovely. He asked if I didn't have any problems having sex with a much older woman. I said I didn't. We went off to a back room. I thought it would be a threesome, but the guy was content to just watch. He kept asking if she was enjoying herself, and she would say yes, and it seemed like she was. It was kind of sweet in a way. Story 4. The Vacation. I went on vacation with my best friend for a week, and I met someone that I would never ever be interested in real life. But he made me feel sexy and attractive, and I slept with him, amongst many other. 2 nights in a row. The crazy thing is that I don't feel any guilt. The affair I had with that guy on the trip liberated me. I have absolutely no feelings for this guy I met on my trip. He's actually a bit of a lowlife from what I've learned, and he has a completely different lifestyle from me. So this isn't an emotional feeling I'm experiencing. I feel like the sexual acts with this guy have liberated me and has brought a lot of feelings I have about my husband to the surface. Background. I have a sexless marriage. My husband is my best friend, and I've known him since I was 15. We started dating a long time after high school, and we have been married for 5 years. I have been financially supporting him for most of my marriage while he is in college, which is something we agreed to, but something that I completely resent now. Although we have a great time as friends, there is no sexual attraction. From my part anyway. I feel like we are now roommates. We haven't had sex in over 6 months, and we never had a good sex life, and I don't have a desire to have sex with him anymore. It's the old cliche, I love him, but I'm not in love with him. I've been daydreaming of being single, living on my own, living my own life. I have no desire to be with anyone else. I just want to live my own life. I'm seriously considering leaving him, which will break his heart. But I feel like I need to be true to myself. If I cheated on him, then the relationship is not worth saving, right? Am I crazy? Stupid? An asshole? Story 5. Accidentally bought women's stockings and wore them anyway. I am male, 20-year-old. I did some quick groceries after class and found some socks for sale at the checkout counter. I dug through them looking for the formal ones, the thin ones that would go well with my leather dress shoes. So I found one with a picture of a female model's feet where the fabric indeed looked very thin. I must have been thinking it was a gender-neutral thin sock product. It was black and seemed opaque. 60 cents a pair. I got 2 pairs. Then I got home and unpacked it and realized how thin exactly it was, that they weren't socks at all. They weren't even shaped like a foot. I could have gotten 8 cigarettes for the same price. But whatever. I'd spent it and I didn't feel like having to waste it, so I wore them anyway. And then came the realization. How lovely it actually feels. It makes my legs feel silky smooth. Never before have I been able to take my feet in and out of my shoes with such ease. So, I'm going to continue wearing these. In fact, I could make an argument for stockings to be normalized as a gender-neutral garment by virtue of the comfort it provides.